Ron Gauci, Melbourne Aces board member, and like I said before, he was an ex-Storm CEO, came in and cleaned the place up after a little bit of a mess there. He joins us on the run home. G'day, Ron.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's been a while. Good to be back on.
Good on you. Now, the Melbourne Aces, they've been going only just this season at the moment. I've got them, second bottom on the ladder. Is that about right? But there's still a chance to get into the playoffs.
Well, they are. Look, we did get off to a slow start, but certainly we started to peak, and we were a shave off top spot there for a bit, and then our slump hit. So that we're basically suffering the consequences of that. But with the next two games coming up, we're well in there for the playoffs. If we win both of the next two series, then we're right in there for a top three spot.
Ron, what's your love affair with baseball, and how long have you been following the sport?
Oh, look, a long time. I had the joy of, in my previous life in commercial world, of seeing Chicago play at Wrigley Field, which was the last of the natural turfs, and I fell in love with the game there, particularly watching a game where two teams could slog it out for 9 innings and get a result in one night.
I'm the same. I love the game as well, Ron. I lived in America for a long time. I used to get the baseball as much as I could, but I didn't think it would ever really take on, but I think it's starting to get some support, and now some of the guys are coming down. I think we're playing a season opener in Sydney, so things are kicking along okay, don't you think?
Well, the season opener in Sydney got sold out straight away, so there is certainly a strong following here. The other thing too is if you just look at the raw numbers over the last 4 or 5 seasons, I think there's been year-on-year growth. This year alone, we've seen 22% growth. It is an exciting sport. What I do notice, particularly getting involved locally, it comes back to what Rebecca was saying on your show a lot earlier. The whole family side of it. There's a number of sports are struggling with that concept. Baseball is a great family outing, and Friday, Saturday night, we've got the fireworks for the kids, and there's a whole lot of activities around the pitch. And we really do focus on the family side, and I think that's one of the reasons why there's been that growth. It is a good place to take the kids. I'll be taking mine on Saturday, that's for sure.
Yeah, Ron. Talking about kids, we had 2 of your younger players into the studio at the start of the baseball season, in Ryan Castile and Tyler Massey. I haven't really followed the last month or so. How have they travelled?
Well, Castile leads the league in home runs at the moment.
He's going well. We give him a little bump.
We liked
up there.
him instantly, Ron.
Yep.
We liked him very much.
Yeah, he's a good lad. No, he's doing very, very well, and it's great to see these. We've got a lot of experienced players in the side as well, but certainly good to see some of the young fellas do as well as they do.
Righto, we take on the Brisbane Bandits in a Thursday to Sunday series at the Melbourne Ballpark. What can you tell us about the Bandits?
Well, look, they are sitting on the bottom, and we expect to do very well against them. But with the baseball, you can't take any of the games for granted. We've done equally well against the top teams, and then struggled at times as well. But certainly our track record against the Bandits and Sydney, which is the next 2 series, means that we can do very, very well. Like we nailed them in Brisbane, so we should do likewise here. And as I say, that'll set us up for a top 3 spot, and hopefully get to the playoffs.
Ron, a lot of our listeners and SMSs and emails over the last little bit are asking about where the Aces will be playing all their games. The trip from Altona Station to the venue it's a long one by walk. If you are walking, it's up around about 20 minutes. Are you exploring other options?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. There is a substantial level of support. Well, I'll go back. I've been involved with the Aces now for probably, 12, 18 months, so I'm still getting more familiar with the local scene. I was more au fait with the overseas scene. But what I see is there is a strong supporter base on each side of the city. Now, the showgrounds facility catered for both sides fairly well, but for the fact that the pitches had to be set up and dismantled, and it was frustrating from that point of view. The government got right behind us and invested quite heavily in the Altona ballpark, and I've got to say they've done an exceptional job. But whilst it's catered very well for this side of town. You're right that this has caused some issues for those coming from the other side. We ideally would like to become more central again, but as you know, the land is at a premium and there's not too many opportunities for us to develop new space, but certainly there might be some other opportunities coming up. But yes, we at the Aces are always looking for an opportunity to become more central. We know that the more people who see the game, the more they like it, the more they keep coming back. So if we can obtain a way of getting more people to the game conveniently and quickly, then I think we'll do even better.
Hey, Ron, there are a few CEO jobs going around the Victorian sport just at the moment. Essendon need a CEO. The Saints are looking for a new CEO. Are you going to put your dip your hat there?
Well, according to some of the papers, I already had the jobs. But my understanding is Essendon has decided to be the only club not to go with a CEO going forward. I understand Paul Little is acting a dual role, and Xavier, the COO, is stepping up his COO role. And St Kilda's still on the go. But
do you reckon that can work at Essendon, Ron? Do you reckon a system like that can work, a structure like that?
I think all of the evidence shows that for proper governance and for proper success, you need accountability, and you need to have a CEO that becomes completely accountable for everything that happens in an organisation. I think Essendon's a classic example of how important that is going forward. I think the Australian Stock Exchange has also set out guidelines that sees the importance of having a CEO and having a CEO that separates the function from that of a chairman. Having said that, Essendon's made its decision, and it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. But I come from the traditional school that says you need a chief executive officer that is fully accountable for everything that happens in the business, that reports into a board led by an able chairman.
Geez, Ron, Ian Robson was the CEO and he got the sack because he didn't know what was going on and due to the governance. And you'd think that in light of what happened at Essendon last year, that the first thing they would be doing would be appointing a CEO who is rock solid. Anyway, that's another story. We can all get along and see the Melbourne Aces taking on the Brisbane Bandits at the Melbourne Ballpark this weekend. There's going to be fireworks during the Friday and Saturday night matches. That's fantastic. Super Saturday has online tickets from just $5 for general admission. Is that right? And $10 for premium tickets?
Yes, and you can save well if you go online and book those tickets beforehand rather than just rock up at the gate. But what we're trying to achieve with Super Saturday is we want to fill the ballpark and break an ABL record. And we've gotten close, but if we can, the park takes, I think, 2,500 people. But if we can break the record of 2,200, we go down the books, and we're really keen to make Super Saturday work from that point of view.
Sensational. $5 for general admission, 10 for premium tickets. What a deal.
Great
MelbourneAces.com.au for more information. Ron Gauci, thanks so much for your time, mate. We appreciate it. Good luck.